Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician.
Let's examine Big U's real story and the purported murder video. Big U is presently being charged with RICO, murder, and fraud. Some even claim that he killed Nipsey. A terrible video that Big U supposedly leaked from jail is going viral, and some people think it might be the last straw that leads to his conviction. I've been claiming for a while that Big U killed Nip when he was in his 60s. For those who don't know, we are getting rid of them all today. Big U, a prominent figure in the music industry and on the streets, is a 58-year-old music executive from South Los Angeles. He helped launch the late Nipsey Hussle's career and has been referred to as the godfather of hip-hop by artists such as Wiz Khalifa. Big U was also in charge of Developing Options, a group ostensibly committed to stopping gang violence. But this is where things go awry. Fans get complex. The entire image of community activity was only a front for something far deeper, according to federal prosecutors, who claim that Big U was running a mafia-like criminal organization linked to the neighborhood crimes of the Rollins 60s, involving several accusations. We're talking about a 43-count federal indictment that includes murder, racketeering, extortion, fraud, and maybe trafficking, and it could land him in prison for life.
Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise.
The alleged murder of 21-year-old Ron Williams, a rising rapper signed to Big U's antique music label, is the most serious charge against them.
Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
Big U evidently didn't feel disrespected by the trash tape that Williams allegedly recorded against him. According to the feds, Big U abducted Williams and then killed him in retaliation. Williams' body was eventually found in a ditch near a Nevada waste, as if several gunshot wounds to the face weren't enough. Big U is also facing charges of racketeering under the RICO Act, making this indictment more dangerous than it first appears. Then, according to the prosecution, Big U attempted to hide the crime by erasing surveillance footage and studio equipment that would have been used against him. Act with charges that he ran a criminal conspiracy involving the role of 60s Crips and orchestrated violent crimes to maintain control of his group. The federal government accused him of embezzlement and fraud, alleging that he committed wire fraud, bank fraud, and extortion in addition to stealing governmental funds. Robbery, trafficking, and extortion are also charges. The enterprise is charged with impeding justice in addition to violent extortion, robbery, and interstate prostitution. The charges include wiretap talks from January 2023, in which Big U allegedly talked about directly killing rivals. This is where the confusion about the tape may be coming from. According to the federal complaint, Big U ordered the destruction of security footage from the Las Vegas studio where Williams recorded, "I'm killing, period. I am going to murder." This suggests that any potentially incriminating video footage was most likely erased. Audio recordings, wiretapped conversations, and circumstantial evidence pertaining to Williams' murder seem to be the primary pieces of evidence against Big U. Let's get back to the question that has been lingering in the air like smoke. Did Big U actually show a horrifying video of a murder in a jail? We are limited to stating that there is a murder video of a rapper floating music about. And that's where it all becomes heavy, isn't it? This isn't just any old viral video that will be forgotten in a few weeks. Rather, it's a clip that rocks. The foundation, an unvarnished, uncut slice of reality that makes you stop scrolling and think, who's behind this? A murder case involving Big U also changes the game. If you're built like that, you don't need to post any videos to make your point. All you need is a nod, a whisper, or a subtle nudge in the right direction, and everyone in the neighborhood knows what's going on. Consequently, when this video goes viral, the streets start to piece together the puzzle and ask, Who really pulled the strings here? However, additionally, it's probable that Big Us's case is being mistaken for other well-known murder cases involving video. For example, a 2020 video that was connected to Yellowy's case and the murder of rapper Mo3 was recently made public. Let's face it, Big U has been in federal detention since March 2025, and inmates often have limited access to communication equipment that would allow them to distribute film. In Mo3's case, a video that went viral showed the rapper being hunted and slain on a highway, but this has nothing to do with Big U. There are no indications that he has shared or accessed such content while incarcerated. Look at it, Ray. The Williams murder and Big U's empire are merely the beginning of U's story, which is actually far more intense. The murder case that might put Big U in jail and the criminal enterprise he reportedly built are the real highlights of this narrative. According to reports, Big U's Unique music label and 21-year-old aspiring rapper Sean Williams' relationship deteriorated in January 2021. Big U allegedly paid for Williams to travel to Las Vegas to record songs at a Grammy-winning producer's studio, but the trip didn't go as planned according to federal prosecutors. Music at the set tempo, and instead created a diss track that was aimed at Big U. According to the feds, this can have deadly consequences in street life, since it harms Big U's reputation and the Big U business overall. Big U and his partner, Sylvester Robinson, also called Vi, traveled to Las Vegas to confront Williams, according to the federal indictment. Big U is accused of driving Williams to North Las Vegas, shooting him in the head, and then dragging his body off Interstate 15 and into a desert ditch. What reportedly transpired next is utterly horrific. Williams' remains were discovered in the vicinity of the alleged murder goes beyond the numerous cold-blooded, straight-up bullet wounds to the face that were received 4 miles northeast of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. In order to hide the crime, Big U is accused of ordering studio staff to leave while an associate deleted CCTV footage from the studio and of advising witnesses to keep quiet while communicating with law enforcement.
Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
According to FBI Special Agent Andrew Russa's declaration, which is included in the evidence against Big U, Williams's diss track was essential to the dispute because it questioned Big U's reputation and authority. Furthermore, Big U was not ruled out as a suspect despite the inconclusive DNA evidence discovered at the scene. Furthermore, CA, a witness, stated in court that Big U visited Williams at an Airbnb. Big U denied everything in videos he shared on social media prior to his surrender on March 19, 2025, saying the charges were meant to harm his standing as a black community leader. Williams said that his lack of transportation in Las Vegas caused him to skip studio sessions.
I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they're trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family.
He continued by saying,
I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing.
I didn't do anything, he said plainly, calling the charges bull crap.
I want to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know all this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bull crap.
But the feds are sure they have their man. On April 22, 2025, a judge ruled that Big U would remain in custody until trial because of the gravity of the allegations, which included proof of obstruction and Williams' murder. Prosecutors were successful in their argument that Big U's release would endanger the community, victims, and witnesses. Let's take a closer look at what the federal government is referring to as the Big U enterprise. The indictment states that this was about more than one murder. It involved the Roland 60s Crips as part of a whole criminal network that operated independently. The investigators claim that Big U pretended to be a well-known figure in the music industry and a community volunteer in order to hide his position as the leader of this illicit organization. According to the prosecution, NBA players Shaquille O'Neal and Draymond Green gave contributions to his non-profit organization, Developing Options, which used the money for anti-gang activities.
The RICO charges against Mr. Henley and his associates reflect a pattern of crimes that runs the gambit from extortion to robbery to murder to tax fraud and to human trafficking, all under the umbrella of a well-organized criminal organization led by Mr. Henley.
Big U is charged with deceiving donors and embezzling $2.35 million from his non-profit organization, Developing Options. He allegedly shifted the cash to personal accounts rather than using them for their original purpose of avoiding gang violence.
There was an embezzlement angle to this, to the criminal enterprise, where hundreds of thousands of dollars were siphoned off that should have gone to charitable purposes, gang reduction, gang intervention. Instead, he used it for his own purposes, his own criminal enterprise.
$3 million debt from an NBA All-Star in 2022 is among the alleged extortion cases against Big U and his associates. Additionally, they allegedly gave the order to loot an unauthorized marijuana shop in Los Angeles that had stopped accepting extortion money. There are also accusations of human trafficking. Big U is specifically accused of paying Armani Afflesia $1,000 to bring 3 women from California to Las Vegas for prostitution under the Mann Act. Additionally, the enterprise is accused of committing crimes involving firearms and drug trafficking. Rappers Loose Cannon and Brick Baby are among the co-defendants accused of robbery, drug dealing, and unlawful handgun possession. Big U might spend the rest of his life behind bars if found guilty of these crimes. His trial is scheduled for May 20th, 2025, but this date could vary as the legal proceedings develop. He has pleaded not guilty to all allegations. You might be wondering what the Ran Williams family thinks of all of this by now. The mother of Ran Williams has openly declared her desire for justice and Big U's guilt. This indicates that Big U is a complex individual who works as a music executive, identifies as a community activist, and the Williams murder, according to federal authorities, is a clear illustration of his accused use of violence to hold on to power and quell dissent. However, it's important to remember that in the American legal system, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, regardless of how shocking these accusations are. The matter is still under trial, and Big U has pleaded not guilty. Despite their own admission, the prosecution's reliance on circumstantial evidence for the Williams murder raises the possibility that Big U's defense could deny the tale and that not all accusations are unambiguous. This brings us to another. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of Big U's story is the unsubstantiated rumors and claims that he was involved in the 2019 murder of rapper Nipsey Hussle, with whom Big U had a close personal and professional relationship. These rumors had been circulating on social media, linking Big U to another high-profile murder that rocked the hip-hop community a few years ago, the Nipsey Hussle connection and the bigger picture. Before we begin though, let me make it clear that, unlike in the Williams murder case, Big U is not accused of being involved in Nipsey Hussle's murder. Rather, these allegations are primarily based on posts made on social media, interviews, and films that have reappeared, but they don't support the federal allegations. What precisely is the link in this case? By managing Nipsey Hussle in his formative years and landing him a 10-year deal with Unique Music, Big U helped launch his career. According to numerous sources, Hussle and Big U had a falling out about music equipment, which led to the recording of a song called You Don't Got a Clue, which many now believe was a jab at Big U. Look, you don't know what you want to accomplish. I am busy making money. Do you think I'll stop for you? Everyone is aware that I created this on my own, but they continue to behave as though they are supposed to be in charge of how I react. As most of you are probably aware, Nipsey Hussle was murdered in March 2019 by Eric Holder, a member of the Roland 60s Crips in South Los Angeles. Holder received a sentence of 60 years to life in prison after being convicted of the murder. Hussle's brother intervened to prevent things from going worse after Big U allegedly told him he planned to discipline him.
For count one alone, it would be 50 years to life. The total sentence would be 60 years to life.
The whispers begin here, but the official version has always been that Holder killed Hussle over a personal Dispute over snitching claims. According to a 2002 audio recording about Whack 100 and Loose Cannon on No Jumper, Big U called Cannon to let him know that Hussle had been murdered 30 minutes before it occurred.
So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered.
He continued by saying,
So after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed me.
This video was allegedly taken down by No Jumper after Big U was arrested in 2025, but this simply served to fuel speculation. Another found film shows Big U laughing after hearing of Hussle's death. But it's impossible to tell what exactly he was laughing at without context. It may have been shock, bewilderment, or any number of other emotions. It has been seen as incriminating by others. Shuja Nightgirl and former Death Row rapper SKG also made contributions. In a TMZ interview, she claimed that Big U was involved in Hussle's death, claiming that he organized attacks against her and intimidated people to quit doing business with her. Although these accusations have not been confirmed, she also stated that she spoke with the relatives of Rayshawn Williams and Whack 100 about Big U's alleged crimes. Although there is no evidence to support this claim, Charleston White, who is well known for holding radical views, joined the debate in a recent video and asserted that Big U was to blame for Hussle's passing.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie, they killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details, Nip and Big U got into it.
The federal indictment, which focuses on the Williams case and other violations, does mention Big U's affiliation with Hussle, but it does not connect him to the murder. Without supporting proof, the speculative claims are at best inconclusive, because they are largely based on anecdotal statements made by people with agendas and a history of making contentious statements. Though they lack official paperwork or legal support, the No Jumper podcast and linked videos were removed, perhaps igniting rumors. No Jumper's takedown of the video can be a red flag. What does this whole scenario teach us about the connection between hip-hop street culture and the criminal justice system? And how does it prove guilt? First of all, it highlights the complex and sometimes fatal relationships that exist inside the hip-hop scene, where personal feuds and street politics may become dangerously interwoven. The two personalities that certain industry participants maintain are further highlighted by the allegations that Sean Williams produced hate songs against Big U, and that both of them met violent ends, even though Big U is only charged in Williams's case. According to Big U, he was a federal prosecutor's claim that a former gang member who is now a community activist is operating a charity organization to fight gang violence. But this is merely a front for his ongoing control of a criminal operation. The case raises concerns about the accountability of well-known people who obtain public support and funds for neighborhood projects. For instance, prominent NBA players contributed significant sums of money and government funding to the non-profit group Developing Options. The allegations, if true, would constitute a serious breach of public confidence and serve as a reminder of the wide-ranging power of RICO racketeer-influenced and prosecutors can target entire criminal enterprises and their executives by filing charges against corrupt organizations. Hip-hop artists Casanova, Big U, and Young Thug have all been the targets of RICO cases in recent years. The evidence against Big U and his alleged criminal operation will surely be revealed more as this case proceeds to trial, which is currently set for May 20th, 2025. His defense will have the opportunity to present their case and refute the prosecution's version of events. Big U remains in federal jail after being refused bail because of the gravity of the accusations and concerns that potentially. The image painted by the indictment is so bleak that it appears as if the curtains have been drawn back to expose something darker than anyone could have ever envisioned. It is no longer merely about a person who rose to fame in the music business or on the streets. Rather, it tells the story of a man who reportedly wielded his power with the type of accuracy that created an empire. Not the kind that is founded on respect or loyalty, but on fear and manipulation. He might be sentenced to life in prison if convicted of the most serious crimes. He vowed to serve the people who trusted him to lead, guide, and uplift them. And that's the hardest part to accept when someone you care about does that. He allegedly used the same power that helped him reach the top of the music charts to create and maintain a criminal network that involved murder, extortion, fraud, and human trafficking. If confirmed, these charges imply a degree of exploitation so extreme that you have to ask yourself what happens when someone's desire for power is unbridled. They are more than just words in an indictment. They allegedly pledged to resist the very thing they believed in. Such treachery destroys the foundation of all a guy has ever claimed to stand for, in addition to harming his reputation. Our in-depth examination of more juicy content, such as this bash that subscribe button, is now complete. To receive notifications, press the bell. To view additional movies, view the cards that are displayed on your screen. Remember to leave a comment below with your thoughts.